Hey, man. All right. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that feel good after a week where your brain is exhausted? And I'm not saying my song particularly, but music of any kind, of a pure intent. Music is beautiful because it is a pure intent. And it is of inarguable intent. And so much of your life and our lives have to do with decoding intention of what we hear. So we're tasked with so many jobs at the same time. Listen to what someone's saying, decode what their intention is, decide whether they're telling the truth or not, and develop a response. And everybody is tired. And I'm being dead serious. Part of me wanting to do this show is to bring people back to a more sort of human tradition of hearing someone talk, believing what they're saying, being put at ease, made to feel okay, made to feel like, all right, it's okay. And it is okay because it has to be okay. So if someone says it's okay and you say it's not okay, I worry about that. You have to work backwards from the fact that you are alive. You are going to be here for a while, and it has to be okay. And even if it's shitty, you have to find a way to make the answer that everything's going to be okay. And that's a long week. That's a long week. This week put everybody in a courtroom. People who aren't used to it, people who aren't prepared for it. Listen to someone talk. Decode what their intentions are. Therefore, while you listen to them, try to reverse engineer what their level of defensiveness is and what they have to hide and what they're trying to snake out of. And specious argument, you know. The world right now is completely full of shit. It would be one thing if we were full of shit too, but we're not. And the sickness and the sadness that you feel is from the disconnect between the world itself in this current incarnation being completely full of shit. And because you're not full of shit, hey, CM Punk, you really better relax. Because you're not full of shit, your brain gets an illness to it. It's an overall illness to living in a world that has so much intellectual, spiritual, and emotional interference. That's not who we are. And part of me believes that perhaps the world stage is too big a stage to dance on for us, these little, tiny, simple people who want acceptance, who want admiration in one way or another, who want to be invited to the party. The bare essentials have been overlooked. We want company. We want encouragement. We want to feel like the ride is worth it. And the ride is worth it. The current version of laying out the ride might be a bit too steep. And I don't want to step on anyone else's idea of what the world is supposed to be, and certainly assign yourself to whatever role you feel like that has to be. However, you really are going against the grain of a lot of biology in thinking that the human brain and heart can withstand that many hours per week of cognitive dissonance. When someone says something and you don't believe it to be true, while they are talking, their speech takes 4 times as much energy out of you as somebody you believe is telling the truth. With that, I want to send you on your way for the week with pure of heart. Set aside some time to live small, to live in your town, to live in your house, to live in your place of work. Set aside some time to see the world through a slightly smaller aperture because you deserve the happiness that that should bring. And a lot of people on this are younger than I am. And I have had my 20s and 30s and had mostly a lovely time. I just don't like the idea that something in the world could change that would rob people in their 20s and 30s of a kind of deserved, there's an existence owed to you of happiness. And so set aside some time to be truthful and kind, and perhaps at the expense of there being just a smaller sample of the world you pull in. Just pull in a smaller sample of the world, the one around you. The world around you is beautiful. The world that's downloaded from the big mother brain in the sky, as contributed by millions of people creating this coding, that's tiring. And we all have to live in there, but let's live outside the matrix as well. I'm speaking to you about all of this in front of a wall of stuffed animals and some science fair foam board, but I mean it from the heart. I love you dearly. I will come to Brazil. We'll see you again in a week, well, 2 weeks from now, because we're off next week. we are off next week. It's just me. I stood around in my house and duct taped this stuff together. This is an ironing board. God bless you. I love you. Have a great week. Goodbye.